with a very star-studded and phenomenal NFL Combine and a very interesting week for us Washington Commanders fans in terms of the roster. Figure Nick and I will come back on, go over the roster, look at the moves that have made within the last 3 or 4 days as of recording, and give y'all a roster reconstruction mock draft. It's BIB Draft HQ. Let's run this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Burgundy Ballers, welcome back to BIB Draft HQ here on the Ball and Burgundy podcast. Myself and Nick back at it again. Nick, what's happening?
What's up, man? Glad to be back and getting another pod going with this this very exciting, like you said, combine that we just got to witness. So very exciting to talk today about this.
Hey, it was a fantastic combine, and we'll talk about why we're saying that, and then we're going to have a roster reconstruction mock draft based on the moves they've made between Sunday and today being Wednesday, March 4th. You guys will come out this on Thursday, March 5th. But we got two things to go over first. First and foremost, hit that subscribe button here on BIB. Road to 1,000 subscribers. We're at 968. So we just need 32 of y'all to hit that subscribe button. Over 80% of y'all who watch these videos are not subscribed. So it takes 2 seconds of your time. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. It gets us into the algorithm. It gets us to more of y'all sports fans, more of you Commanders fans. And then share with a friend. Tell whether you're an NFL draft fan, an NFL fan, or a Commanders fan, send them our way. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share with your friends. But, Nick, I would be remiss if we did not cover a tragedy that happened earlier today, again, being Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know, put aside all of your college football bias, put aside all of your rivalries. Rest in peace, Lou Holtz, one of the most iconic college football head coaches, passed away earlier today, being Wednesday, March 4th, at the young age of 89 years old, surrounded by his friends and family in Florida. He leaves behind 4 children, 9 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. So to the Holtz family, to the William & Mary community, to the NC State, Arkansas, Minnesota, South Carolina, and the Notre Dame communities, all our love, our condolences, our prayers out. Rest in peace to one of the greats in Lou Holtz.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, one of the great minds of football, right? And it's starting to be a very bad habit of ours that each time we have a pod together that we're talking about someone who just passed away. So
it's rough.
Yeah, it's starting to be a very annoying habit. But yeah, we would be, saddened and, not as respectful if we didn't pay our respects to the man. So yeah, rest in peace with him and his family, and hopefully, never an easy time, but hopefully they can, find peace and, gather around with the loved ones and remember the good old days. So
absolutely. Again, Notre Dame put it out on their Twitter immediately and their social media sites, a funeral service at the Mass of Christian Burial at the Basilica of the Sacred Heart at Notre Dame. So their big cathedral will happen at a later time. And say, again, rest in peace, Lou Holtz, one of the greatest minds of college football, best-selling author, one of the most influential motivational speakers in all of, just America. God rest him. God rest his soul. Never a good time for someone to pass away, but he was surrounded by his loved ones, surrounded by all the love. Just rest in peace. Rest in peace, Coach Holtz, and rest in peace. But from that being said, and there's no easy way to segue, so my bad, guys.
Yeah.
The past couple of days, from the combine up until early, minutes before we, come in here to record this, the combine was fantastic. And then since the combine, we have made a plethora of roster moves. Like, I'm going to pull it up, right now. So February 26th, center Tyler Biadasz. Yes, I know I mispronounced him on the reel I sent out, guys. Y'all keep killing me on Twitter. You said Biadasz. My bad. You said Lindenbaum instead of Linderbaum. My bad, guys. It was a late night. I was tired. I was dehydrated. When you get dehydrated, you slur your words like a drunk, and I don't drink alcohol. So mad bye, guys. Tyler Biadasz was released and officially released yesterday. Saves us $2.8 million in cap, but it does leave us with an $8.2 million dead space in the cap room. March 2nd, this being Monday, Marshall Lattimore was announced he will be released at the start of the new league year, which is March 11th next week. That'll save $18.5 million, which is chef's kiss. March 2nd, later that day, Nick Allegretti, offensive guard and could be center of the future, was given a 2-year extension, which was really this last year we worked and added a year. So it's going to say 2-year extension. It's like a 1.5. Reduces his cap hit to $7.1 million. March 3rd, Andrew Wiley was extended to a 1-year deal. No news on the contract details. And then like minutes before we started recording this thing and chopping it up behind the scenes in the green room, both D-tackle Shai Tuttle and defensive end Dietrich Wise were all extended to 1-year deals per Schefter and their agents, Drew Rosenhaus. So some familiar names are coming back to the roster on 1-year deals. These could halfway through the season be seventh, trade pieces. They could be cap casualties come training camp. What have you made of this roster move so far right before the league year starts?
Yeah, so me, I mean, you kind of notice a trend there, right? All the big boys are getting shown some love early. Obviously, Truss was our first re-sign back-to-back years, so got to show our respects to the GOAT. But
for sure.
If someone's going to get re-signed first, it's definitely going to be Truss. I mean, he's going to be the first active player in the Ring of Fame. So, with that being said, really, what I'm liking about it, honestly, is we are definitely shoring up the big boys, right? Because as everybody knows, it's no surprise that we need to get better skill-wise on offense and speed-wise or, playmaker-wise, however you want to label those positions on defense. So I don't think it's a surprise that if we go within our first 2 to 3 picks, I don't think we're drafting an O lineman or a D lineman. So shoring it up now. And by D lineman, I mean, your true big boy, D tackle, hand in the ground, not an edge guy. Okay. So yeah, don't come at me in the comments for it. But yeah, like the Shai Tuttle thing, he's here now. He's a player. He's willing to come back and compete. Why not? Right. With the new DC, clearly he either saw something in him, knows something about him that he likes enough to, extend him this early. Because I don't think Shai Tuttle's a popular name on a lot of people's boards right now. So he probably could have got cut and brought back. So, there's something to pay attention to there. And Dietrich Wise, obviously, he is a household name, but with not playing a single snap last year, it goes to show the respect that the new DC has for, a guy who has made a lot of plays in his career.
Yeah.
And to piggyback off of that, going to the offensive side, just shoring up, the best part about it to me is that as you have on the screen here, everyone can see offensive tackle Andrew Wiley. I don't think there's any of us in here that think he's going to start tackle. He's more of our guard now, our swing guard. And Allegretti, as we all know now, is our swing center. So it's really nice to know that when you have no center with cutting your center and then also not having a clue what's going to happen with Chris Paul. And then before all the Chris Paul drama, before we even knew, he was going to be what he was and finishing out the year as the starter. I mean, there for a while, we were talking about a possible Brandon Coleman trade for a draft pick and, maybe try and get a 4th round back for the one that we gave up for Tunsil. And, so who knows, draft day's crazy, right? You've got a guy, you've got 2 guards minimum, right? Like you've got 2 solid backup guards that are locked in there. But you also have a guy who, if, it doesn't go our way, we've got our center in Allegretti. We're not going to write home about it and, throw a parade for it, but he played it last year. We know he can do it. And then if Chris Paul was to leave, worst case scenario, you have Wiley there that could plug in at the guard.
Right.
So I really like the fact that we're shoring up the one spot on defense that we know we're definitely not attacking in free agency or the draft. And I'm not saying we're not going to add people, but what I'm trying to let the people understand is like, we're not going out and getting, the top D tackle in this year's free agency or the draft. We're going to go and ride with Kinlaw,
Payne,
and John. So those are our three guys, and then you just have competition after that, right? Because you don't know. Yep. So, but it's also nice to see that they're shoring up that interior O line that I don't know if anyone knows what the final product of that's going to be come this time next week. So, yeah, I think it's smart.
Not at all. And you pointed out, and I was going to get to it, but yeah, Allegretti could very easily play that center position. And there are rumblings if Chris Paul does, in fact, leave and we did not re-sign him, they could have moved Brandon Coleman inside to guard.
Yeah.
And considering he was, I believe, a guard coming out of TCU, it does not shock me to do that. Yeah. Although this would be his last chance of, hey, we drafted you in the third round of, the Jayden Daniels draft class to be one of our franchise pieces of the future. If you don't show out, you could very well be the longer Dom Hampton of like, hey, we drafted you and you're gone before your rookie contract is over. Wiley, again, could play, that other guard spot if need be. We could go out and get another guard. We could go out and draft, a guard or a center, in the later rounds, maybe a Logan Jones, maybe, Pat Coogan, a James Brockermeyer. I know you're big. That's one of my guys on the list.
Peter Campbell, people like that are going to be there day three. So,
exactly. And again, that's if we address that or we address the tackle, it's definitely going to be a day 3 type pick. You're probably your 6th or your 7th round picks, late draft picks, like we did for Jordan McGee. He was a late round pick, but they really saw something in him they liked, and now they do it. Same thing this past year with Bill and with K. Madrano. Same kind of thing. So we'll see where it happens.
Just going back to Chris Paul's a 7th round guy. So you know what I mean? So it could be a whole Chris Paul situation, and we can move on, but just to piggyback off, because the big boys is my specialty, right? So, I totally agree with you with the whole Brandon Coleman thing, because not only is it year 3, right? But what everyone's like, if obviously, if people don't watch film and pay attention to the fat boys up front like I do, when Biotish did go down, and not Biotish. When Allegretti was struggling, it wasn't Chris Paul who came in. It was Brandon Coleman who came in.
Yeah.
And then when Biotish went down, it was Coleman who still stayed there, and they moved Allegretti to center. And like just this little cliff note here is because with some of my posts in my on my Instagram page, I had a guy comment on there, and he was talking about the fact that Dan Quinn was talking about how Brandon Coleman in the offseason last year was being moved around. He could play center, guard, tackle, blah, blah, blah. Me personally, the proof is in the film, right? Like, if he could have done it, why are you going to move like Allegretti over there, and then still not put Brandon Coleman on the field? And then you're going to put Chris Paul, right? So I think that if people are catching on to what I'm saying here, is that I think that's DQ, advertising a little bit for a possible trade. So, hey, we got this young guy, like he can play guard, center, tackle. You know what I'm saying? It sounds a lot better to get a 4th pick from a guy who can all 3 and doesn't play. You know what I mean? So I think that's more just like clickbait type. Yep. Let me hype him up a little bit, see what I can get out of it. But I 100% agree with you. I think roster stays the way it is. Yeah, Brandon Coleman will probably be plugged into the left guard because Wiley's more of the right side.
Right.
But yeah,
I pass me there.
Yeah, correct. And that's the thing. Like, Wiley is, when you get to this stage of your career, especially as a lineman, like you like a side better than the other, and that's why left tackles get paid way more. So, if it was easy and everyone could do it, then everybody would do it. But that's why you stay on one side of the ball pretty much. And yeah, that's what I'll leave that one at that.
I agree. Look, I'm all for bringing guys back. We all kind of joked, especially on the Burgundy breakdown, that Al Grady could be gone. It could be a trade piece. Wiley, kind of same deal. But two older guys, quote unquote older guys, they're like late 20s. It is what it is.
Right.
In the
yeah,
so old for these guys.
Yeah.
But compared to like Coleman, compared to even Biadasz, just a little bit, there's differences in terms of like Coleman's career versus like Wiley or Alec Grady. So they're obviously going to be probably looked at a little bit more, used a little bit more because they're veterans. We have to wait and see what Coleman is. I could very well see this maybe come trade deadline if he isn't used a lot. Bengals, Texans, Jets say, hey, we'll give you a fourth or we'll give you a fifth for him and kind of wrap it up, call today. I'm not mad at it. Do I think we're gonna trade Coleman? No, because they show a lot of hype in him. Same thing with like McGee. And they had hype in Dom Hampton. We saw how that went. So we will see where the O-line goes. I'm just happy we're kind of starting to, cut some dead weight, which I didn't beat up. Biadasz wasn't dead weight per se, but you can clearly see when he was having his knee injuries, his leg injuries, he was starting to get exposed, get blown up, get ran through. And then week 16 without season-ending injury, they went, okay, obviously he won't be healthy by the time the season starts. Let's start now. Cut him. Let him go to a team. Maybe it's Chicago. Maybe it's Houston. Let him figure it out there and go from there. So, again.
Yeah, and I think we're wishing him, but yeah.
Oh, for sure. You never wish harm or, ill will against guys. We all make jokes saying, if Micah was injured when we play Green Bay, we wouldn't get blown up. But then the moment he gets injured, we're like, well, now there's going to be excuses. All like it's two edges of the sword. So again, we've made some moves. They're kind of like, all right, cool. What's we're waiting for the next shoe to drop kind of thing. Like Biadasz was cut. All right, well then Lattimore was cut. So we're saying, oh, so there goes like 20 mil cap ready to roll right there.
Yep.
But with that being said, let's move on to our what I call the reconstruction mock draft. So I'm going to get PFF all pulled up. So with PFF now, Washington Commanders, 7 rounds, fast, 75% care for positional value, and a little bit of randomness because I know there's going to be one of these teams do something weird. And guys, my computer is off to my technical right, y'all's left as you look at the screen. So if you see me, do one of these stage left, I'm actually going stage right. So just bear with me, guys. But I'm almost going to say this now. I'm going to go get our 7th round pick from Minnesota. And I'm going to say we don't do any trade backs. I think let's stick and pick and have a little fun with who we have.
Okay.
And kind of go from there. But you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Yes, guys, it's super zoomed in. Maybe I'll zoom out, the 100 wrong way. There, a little bit better. You can see the draft picks. So let's get this thing started. So coming off the clock already, Fernando Mendoza, Ruben Bain Jr., Sonny Styles. I don't see this. I think they go O-line personally. Francis Mauigoa, Spencer Fano, Carnell Tate. So 3 straight Ohio State Buckeyes. Carnell Tate, Caleb Downs, David Bailey. So here on the clock, we have Jeremiah Love, Arvell Reese, Francis Mauigoa, Mekhi Lemon, Mansour Delane, Jermod McCoy, Caleb Banks, CJ Allen, Dylan Fieneman, Akeem Mesidor, Keldrick Folk, and company. Right. I think there's only one right. I think there might be only one right answer.
Oh, I'm hoping it's not who I think you're gonna say.
I think it's Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, I'm not there, man.
Okay.
Not that he's not good. But
he's fantastic.
I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid like everybody else is, really. He's definitely the best back, like, don't get me wrong. But if we were going into this year with, B-Rob and C-Rod again, or C-Rod and McNichols again, oh yeah, of course, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, Bill produced, man, and
he produced, but I mean, if you want to make a deadly backfield, Love is everything of like B-Rob and Bill put together with vision.
Yeah, but like just the runs, like Jeremiah Love, man, like he runs physical, right? But it's just, I don't know. Like he like to nitpick him and stuff. Like he's not going to be jumping over everybody in the league. And he carries the ball so far away from his body, it freaks me out. An 18, 19-year-old's trying to tackle you. They're probably not realizing they're starstruck by this dude running at them. But if he's going to meet Fred Warner in the hole, he's never going to hold on to that ball.
Right.
It's just never going to happen. And that really does freak me out, man. Really, it's so crazy that these picks went, because I gave you that scenario in our group chat today about what I would do
to move back to KC.
If we were to attack free agency and these guys were all gone. So if you've got Bailey, Sonny, Caleb, and Tate all gone, which is very possible, as you guys can see, right? It's very possible. I do agree with you, John. Between Arizona and Cleveland, I think one of them definitely takes Fano. For sure. One of them is going to take Cleveland literally just got rid of their entire starting five, right? So and they've got multiple picks, but I just, if it does go like this, right? There's a little disclaimer, like, this is me. I'm not saying to pick this guy, but I do kind of want to get this idea floated out there. If we attack free agency, and everyone who knows me and been listening to me on the pod in my channel, my Instagram, everyone knows I'm Trey Hendrickson all the way. I don't give a damn what it costs, pay the man, right? But if we were to get Trey as an edge, a solid backer, and a safety, and we get those positions at 7, I'm definitely gonna trade back for sure. With Kansas City or LA, but probably not LA now, because that would give. Well, I mean, maybe because they still have their they'd have an earlier pick, but I would really make Kansas City or New Orleans pay, because they both want Love, and I would be that randomness that you selected, and at 9 or 12, I would take Kenyon Sadiq and let him be our starting tight end.
Ooh,
because you've got depth later in the draft, and if you pair, and we all know we need that weapon, right? But this would be a no-brainer for me before the combine to take Mekhi Lemon. But man, with those interviews and the way he showed his personality and stuff like that on the field at the combine, he dropped big for me. Big. Hey. Man, he dropped big for me. So for the sake of this draft and, us actually getting off of here at a decent time, I'll go ahead and shut up. But the way I'm looking at it is if we take Jeremiah Love, will I be mad at 7? No, right? But I feel like with where we're at in the draft, we could make a killing. Like, look what Kansas City just got from LA.
Trent McDuffie.
Like, they just got so much. And it makes my argument even better now that they got that, because now if they really want Love, what did our boy Jerry Maguire say? Or show me the money, So that if you want him, come up and get him. He's yours. We don't even like him, but there's no way in hell we're going to leave him there. There's no way we're going to pass on him. So you make him pay out the ass for Jeremiah Love. You go back to 9, and you just see what comes to you. But me personally, no trading back. We keep the 7th pick. I couldn't pass up on Arvell Reese. Just because of the freak athlete, and the fact of the matter is that this is how I put it for everybody, especially like our boy Justin. He thinks he might be the next Isaiah Simmons.
Arrogant. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's not, that sold on him. My way of thinking is we need an edge and we need a linebacker, right? If he sucks at edge, he's terrible, he can't get off the block, You know he can play linebacker. So you just put him back there. He's got flexibility. He can address two possible needs for us. So that would be my pick. Or Delane. I would take Delane, no problem. But 7 is a little rich for him because I don't think there's anyone taking that corner in the top 10. So that's my 2 cents. You're the man with the mouse. So you take whoever you want and we can go from there. Because I know the people will probably side with you for sure because he's a playmaker. But and I'm not opposed to it. I just wanted my side to be heard that I truly think what we can get out of for Jeremiah Love, for someone to come up and get him, outweighs majorly what he can actually do, especially because we do have Bill, right? Like if we had nobody, oh my God, we would have made this pick. We'd probably be picking 71 already, but
for sure.
Yeah, but I'll let you go ahead and do it. And I just wanted to, get my opinion out there. So
yeah, for sure. I think with Jeremiah Love, the fact that he is the size that he is, like 6 foot, 215, 20 years old, ran a a sub 4.35 40. And he can get you catches, he can run hard, like one drop in so many attempts. 1,318, 1,117. Him, Jayden, and Bill with the triple option. Ooh, like I know it's not your cup of tea, but you want to talk about like old school play, that triple option.
Oh, I love don't get it. Like, the wing T offense is the best offense ever created. Like that's what it is. And I love running the hell out the ball, right? But unpopular opinion, which I'm all for because everyone knows I'm not scared to speak up. But I truly don't think he's a better pass catcher than his co-partner back there. And
Jadarian Price. Ooh.
And he's gonna be there. And Jadarian's not even the best pass catcher in the draft. So, and there was a running back that in that combine, man, he looked pretty damn good. So,
hey, I'm with you. I think for sake of argument in here, I'm gonna take Love, but I think because I'm high on Reese too. But I think if we're gonna talk about like a roster reconstruction, I think you can start with the offense and go get someone to protect and catch for Jayden. That would be Jeremiah Love, especially if Cardinal Tate's already off the board.
Okay. Yeah, and then, just for the people out there, I will pose this question real fast. We're taking Jeremiah Love, as you can see, but would you guys rather take Jeremiah Love 7 or try and just go back to 9 and maybe pick up a second-round pick from Kansas City?
Yep.
So,
let us know if you think we should do a trade back to KC at 9 and go get maybe a first and we give up our 71. Let us know if you think we should stick and pick at 9 and still take Jeremiah Love. Let us know in the comments. But here at 71, there are some nice pieces here. I think Malachi Lawrence will go a lot sooner than this, especially after his great combine.
I made sure you didn't click like show drafted players. Like, golly, he made it far.
Yeah. Halton is still there. Sam Heck is still there. Entries. Malachi Fields did not have the greatest combine.
No.
Everett, Trigg, Branch. I think Slaughter's going to go by now. Coleman, my guy Bell, J-Rod. I think he's going to go a lot sooner than this because it doesn't really update their boards.
Yeah,
so,
he's J-Rod's second round. There's no way. Either's Jennings Dunker.
No way. But while they're here, and Braz will be on way gone too. Because again, they don't update their board. So while we're here, we took running back. We took Jeremiah Love. I think if he was here, and honestly, as much as I love trading Stooks, that is my guy. I think Malachi Lawrence might be the pick if we're sitting here.
Yeah, I mean, seeing that name first, it was like, oh wow, I can't believe he made it there. He had a great combine, great season. He's what you're looking for. He could probably get a little bit better in the run game, weighing 250. But he's going to get into a real cafeteria in the NFL, and he'll be week 1 playing at 265 easily. So
easily,
he'll definitely put that muscle and that weight on that's needed to get in there. But he's also got Darryl Tapp, who made a great career being an undersized guy. So. I do like that pick, but just for the sake of it real quick, just go to corners just real quick. I just wanted to see who's there.
Dalen Everett, who had a good combine.
Yeah.
Devin Moore out of Florida. My guy Stooks again had a really good combine.
Will Lee,
dude,
in my opinion, didn't do great.
No.
He didn't
Neil
show up
Muhammad.
what he would have. Okay,
No.
cool.
Kilgore, he'll go high.
Yeah,
It's the usual suspects.
Yeah, I mean, I think right here, and then just go to the edges available.
Yep. Lawrence, Lucas, Crawford, Kamara.
I like Crawford too, but yeah, I think the obvious pick here is Lawrence.
Malachi Lawrence. Yep.
Yeah.
So again, I think he'll go a lot later or a lot sooner than this. So that this could be like a Skylar Bell, Trey and Stooks, Devin Moore type situation here. But if he's here, I like Malachi Lawrence a lot. Give me a nice, and he's relatively young. I think he's 23, 22 years old. So he's got a lot of room to like season and learn. And I mean, you want to talk about like, stopping the run at D end. Dietrich Wise is sitting there going to be healthy by week 2. You learn from him. There are way worse guys to learn from.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, and I mean Von Miller. So if he's back,
Von Miller.
So yeah, because I mean Von Miller he's a sack specialist, but at the end of the day, he made a career playing a lot. So
playing a lot. So here at 145, we got Keyshawn Elliott, Joe Royer, and Nate Kirkster, Kate Klubnik, Eli Radon, Claiborne, Stevens, Fisher, Rivers, Stroman, Kilgore, but he'll be long gone by now.
Yeah.
I had a really good combine at 6'4". Less than 6'3". But even like you want to talk about someone who is tall and fast, it would be Bryce Lance. I think he'll be gone by here too.
Yeah. Let me think here. So go to so what do we get? A running back and an edge?
Mm-hmm.
Who's corners that are available?
Some corners that are available. It's probably going to be like Hezekiah Masses. That's the wrong button. Work with me. There we go. Kilgore, but again, he'll be long gone. Hezekiah Masses, Devin Marshall.
Both of those Washington corners looked really good, man. Mm-hmm. They both look really good in drills. To be honest with you,
so did Demings though.
Demings, yeah. Jadon looked good too, actually. To be honest with you, but I just like the fact that those two Washington corners are 6'4". So, and Takario definitely looks like he will just jam you up at the line. He looks big. Where
Ephesians.
Ephesians. He looked like he could stick with you running, an out route. You know what I mean? So it's really just where you plan on putting him,
right?
With what you would, obviously do there. But I mean, yeah, man, it's hard to say here because.
I mean, I have an idea if you're down for it.
Okay, what are you thinking?
I say if he's still here, take Lance at 145. I would go get Demings at 186.
I mean, one of those corners from Washington could still be there. Go to receivers.
Eric Rivers.
I like Eric
Rivers. Shout out to Dante. Eric Rivers was a name I was on the very high on, and watching tape, watching the combine. He is really good. I don't know if he's going to immediately start, and that's going to be the problem.
I agree. He's going to be competing with the guys we got when we really need a guy who's just going to come in and play.
Plus, he'll do great on special teams to start, but like saying that hurts.
Yeah, I'm with you. Trust me, because the other two guys we got are going to be just as good on special teams. So.
Yeah. Bryce Lance is here. Ted Hurst, Tyron Montgomery. I think they could go a lot higher too. Yeah, and
that's I don't know if you remember, but I called out Chase Roberts like a long time ago, and he looked good at he's slow, he's not 4'6", but he's 6'5", possession receiver, exactly what you want. Like you throw a 15-yard post or something like that in the middle of the field, like he knows he's going to get top, but he's going to catch the ball. So that's what I like about it. So I could wait for him too, but yeah, I mean, if you want to go Bryce Lance, I'm not opposed to getting a playmaker. So,
I mean, 6'3", 210 what was his official combine stats? I will tell you here in a second.
I was gonna say I actually have my notebook because I'm a nerd, man. I watch it and I
Hey,
write. Yeah, so
nothing wrong with that. Look,
yeah.
hey, us nerds
I
gotta
want to say
stick together, you know.
it was like 4-4, I believe. I try to round up and down that way.
I think it was faster than that. Bryce Lance, according to the official NFL Combine, 6'3", 204 pounds, 32 1/8 inch arms, 9 1/4 inch hands, a 4.34 40-yard dash, a 41.5 inch vert, an 11 foot 1 inch broad jump with a 14.15 20-yard shuttle.
Yeah, sounds a little athletic. Yeah,
I mean, you want to talk about athletic. I mean, at 6'3" too, like it's for a receiver, 6'3" is harder to come by these days. A lot of these guys are 6'1", 6 foot, 5'11".
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was your second ranked combine wide receiver in total score at 86, first in athleticism, fifth in production. I mean, if he's there, I wouldn't think twice in my personal opinion.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if he actually got drafted before Malachi Fields, to be honest with you.
Oh, I don't think that's going to be out of the realm of possibility. I think that could be. Yeah.
Because everyone thought Malachi Fields was going to be that 6'4" guy running a 4.3, but
like he's still good. I'm not going to try to put down Malachi Fields, but like
pretty good. But I think he's there. Love slow too. They're running, so I'm with you. But yeah, we can take Bryce Lance. I'm good with that.
All right, bet. And then, definitely one of the corners we love should be at 186. So kind of seeing who's going down the list. Masses goes, Kilgore goes. There goes Caden Curry. He shot up some boards really fast. Proctor, Hurst, DeCario's gone.
Yeah.
Ephesians just went in front of us.
Right. In front of us. That's back-to-back times our guy right in front.
Uh-huh. Wow. So, I mean, Kennedy and Demings are here. If you want to go cornerback, there's also Tanner Kozoil. There's Cole Winenski, guy Chase Roberts, Bishop Fitzgerald, Red Murdoch, who's a really good linebacker. Delp, Jones, Caldwell you want to talk about someone who increased their draft stock.
Yeah. When he was around, I'm like, who the hell is this dude? I was like, Caldwell. Yeah, that's why the combine's so great, man.
Yeah, that's also why the PFF board sucks.
Yeah.
Again, Kennedy's here, Kalen Black. I think if we're gonna go corner, it's I like doing some more research. I like Demings. A much smaller school. So I mean, Stephen F. Austin, Lumberjacks. Like, 6'1", 190.
That interview he had was great.
Like, I'm gonna pull up his combine.
Yeah, he did good in the drills for sure.
And it wasn't someone like I was looking at to do well too. So like, shout out to him, proving me.
Yeah, I should have brought my book over here.
Hey man, look, makes me look like an absolute dumbass. Measured in 6'1", 193, 32 inch arms, ran a 4.41 40, a 42 inch jump, an 11 foot broad. I mean, he was from their score breakdown, the most athletic corner at the combine. Like, yes, could he be better in coverage? They're saying below average run support, but I think we've got our guys in run support. But you want to talk about like a natural feel for man coverage, burst into space, able to track high point, deep down throw field, smooth hips, pause, solid ball production, also pause. Hey, I'm 2 for 2.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're in and we're in a spot where he won't be an immediate starter, but I mean, you want to put him out, your 4 and let him run. I'm not mad at it one bit. I think these guys are two solid pieces that I would not complain one bit.
Yeah, and I think a corner is definitely something we need for sure.
Yeah.
It's a glaring issue. I mean, you got the Toledo, which is past couple of years has been cornerback DBU. So
DBU.
But I thought he performed poorly in the combine, man. He just I didn't like the way he definitely needs to be coached with like feet and hands and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, we've got our edge, we've got our 2 playmakers on offense.
Yep.
I mean, unless you really want to beat the offensive drum and maybe look at interior line, see what's available there. Maybe just try and shore up the assets you just picked.
Logan Jones, Brailsford.
He's a dog.
Micah Morris, there's a later round center. Bryce Forrester's nice. Pettibon's nice. There's a later round. Maybe I'm thinking tackles. Goldman's not bad. Center out of Michigan State. 2 sacks on the year, but he can also play a little bit of guard if you need him, kind of like another Allegretti type.
Yeah.
At 6'4". I mean, we're talking, pick him at 223 type.
That's picking late.
Brockmeyer, your guy.
This is my guy right here, man. I like him a lot.
I mean, a pure pass blocking center, but can also do decent in the run.
Yeah, and as a center, I mean, when you're run blocking, you're double teaming. So nobody's really running a 5-man front in the NFL. But yeah, I mean, I would. If I went O-line, it would 100% be Brailford because he's your day one starting center, no doubt about it. Even if Biotish was on the team, Brailford's a better center right now than Biotish, in my opinion. Brailford is so, my God, man, he is so physical. Like I love it, and he's a little shorter, little like undersized, I guess, with the weight. But at the end of the day, man, like he gets that job done. In my opinion, because like I said, in the NFL, you're getting so much help at the center, and then in a pass box, you're really just cleaning up, hitting somebody in their hip. But we also need corner. So I mean, you got to kind of. Do you take Demings, who isn't going to start over Amos or Mikey, and possibly not in the slot either as your 3, or do you go with a potential starting center here? So that's what I'm kind of trying to weigh.
I mean, if we want to be that person, we can also look at linebacker. Like Red Murdoch is here, Caleb Elam's Orr is here, Heineke.
Yeah, I agree. Oh my God, scroll down. Yeah. But there's no way, man. There's no way he's gonna be there.
I don't think Gentry's here either.
Bryce, man,
honestly, I do like these two over Brochet, and that's not even just like a slight to you. I think they had a much better combine.
They had a good combine, but
their tape is like really good. Like Red Murdoch is more of your like 3-4 linebacker because he had like 8 sacks on the year.
Yeah.
And then Elam's Orr is more of your run defense at 6'2", but I mean,
you
also can't deny you use him. Like you can use him around.
Didn't he run he ran the fastest 40 as a linebacker? I'm pretty sure.
I'll pull it up again, but he was running
Sunny Styles, besides Sunny, I think it went Sunny Styles and then Orr. I'm almost certain. Yeah. But dude, I'm telling you right now, man, Bryce is like that next, like Sean Lee, like Brian Urlacher, like just break, like Brian Cush, just break your. I mean, he destroyed his own running back in the Senior Bowl. Like he does not give a damn, man. He's looking for it, and I love it about him. And he was a center fielder drafted into the major leagues. Like he's an athlete, man. And I don't think you could be slow and play on Oregon. So like,
no, generally not.
Yeah.
Brochet really didn't do the combine. He kind of got measured out and went from there.
He didn't run, but he did do the drills, and I mean, he looked good in the drills. So
So combine doesn't have him do anything. Oh yeah, he did some of the drills, but he didn't do like the 40-yard dash. He didn't do the splits. He didn't do the verts. No, honestly, I think if I'm here, I think I can wait a little bit on linebacker. I'd probably go get one of those 2 corners.
Yeah, that's fine. Because in all honesty, I'm all for the pod and team unity here, but I couldn't allow you to not pick Bryce there. So I would have to exit stage left there if that happened.
Right.
But yeah, cool. I'm good. I'm good with. I mean, if I was to pick out of the 2, I mean, Canada is probably the way to go, in my opinion. I just feel like he's a better ready to go corner.
Probably, but I mean, you want to talk about I think production-wise, I think Demings has done more.
Yeah, upside as well.
Yeah, and I mean, like, use him at corner, but you want to use him in the box a little bit, in the slot a little bit. Like, you kind of move him around.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, again, he's more of that man coverage more than zone, but I think with Durante, he's going to use him differently. I kind of want to go in a little different route. I kind of like Demings a little more than Kennedy.
Yeah, that's fine because I'm not pressed on Kennedy. They're probably 12 and 13 in my rankings, something like that.
Right.
Like they're probably right back to back. So
yeah. So right here, Kennedy just went to the New England. So him and Gonzalez building that Oregon corner room. That's hilarious.
If it works.
If it works, it works. We have a halfback, an edge, a wide receiver, a corner. We have 2 spots select left. We could go center, linebacker. We could double up, maybe go get a safety, go get, I know my guy Husky is still here, but he is going to be long gone. We could take Brailsford here and then figure out what we want to do at 223.
What linebackers are still there?
I think the majority of them.
Still the same, right?
Should be if PFF wants to work. Yeah, or Heineke, Brochet, Gentry, the usual suspects.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I would go linebacker here.
All right. Well, I'm out of that. I think we got to figure out what we're going to do at linebacker. Like, Louisville's still here. We bringing back Wagner. What does he have in store for Jordan McGee? Are we going to see Kane Madrano? Because Kane was taken in and around this area last year. McGee, same spot.
I think Kane Madrano is a cut candidate, to be honest with you.
Ooh, that's a little hot.
It's just, it wasn't his guy, you know what I mean? And
could be.
He didn't. And McGee, I think, is a work in progress. I'm not even sold on him, honestly. So,
oh man, that's hurts my soul.
Yeah, no, he's definitely better than Kane, which is why I think Kane's more of a cut candidate. Yeah. But a new DC, playing the type of ball that he plays, he's gonna want to try and get a backer that he knows and like. I would love to try and get like Bryce and then pair it up with Brailsford, but I don't think Brailsford would stay for another 20 picks.
Probably not. Do you want to take Brailsford and then we kind of figure out our loss at 223?
I feel like it's better to figure out our loss now we know we got Allegretti back regardless. So, we can maneuver around a backup center. I'd either go or Bryce here. So that's what I would pick, one of those two.
Okay. I think and again, this isn't a slide at you, looking at the tape, looking at the combine, looking at some of the stats, looking at, again, more film. I love Brochet. I'm not trying to slide him. I think Elam's or might be an overall better linebacker prospect. I think Brochet is more of an athletic piece. I think if you're looking for a true like tackle machine, I think it is more Elam's or.
I don't know.
That's just me.
That's hard to.
Because Bryce can do coverage and run, but he's more of your coverage linebacker, where Orr is more of your run defense with a good, still good coverage stats, like 89.1 and like, look at this, what is that? 30 missed tackles in 3 years, 89 tackles. As much like run defense coverage in the box, in the D line, in the slot. Brochet. More coverage and run, not as well as in the run. I think that was a big problem for us this year. Is we just couldn't stop the run.
Yeah.
So I think if we're looking at it, unless we want to look at D tackle and go get someone young to pair up with Lawrence and Wise and company. DN, maybe we can double up on edge. See what we have here. TJ Guy, Vincent Anthony, Zane Durant, he'll shoot up boards. Thompson, Eastern.
Anthony a lot too.
Payne, O'Neal, Fano, Rager, and Newby. I'm getting high on these guys.
Yeah, he did great at the combine.
Mm-hmm.
6'6".
Keyshawn, Brandon Smith, my guy Landon Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has to be Becker here. So I don't hate
Okay.
Orr. I'm just a Bryce guy, but we can take Orr. That's fine.
All right. I'm good with that. And then 223 will be a backup center, in my opinion. He'll be long gone, but if he's here, then he's here. He's still here.
Yeah, that's a obvious, no doubt about it pick right there.
And we will take him to wrap this up. So I'm just gonna switch that to fast. So Brochet went to Buffalo, so good for him. Let that thing run. Heidenreich went to Green Bay. That's cool by me. Download that. So we got a B- for Jeremiah Love, an A for Malachi Lawrence. There we go. C- for Bryce Lance. I think that's cap. D- for Charles Demings. I think that's cap. B for Orr, a B+ for Brailsford. You could take all of these guys and add a 2, subtract a 2 from 71. That's 125. That's 166. That's 182. That's 200. Like, these guys should be long gone. We got a solid B grade. I'm not mad at this one bit.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's a good grade. It's not the sexiest draft we've ever done, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, if it pans out, especially on the offensive side of the ball, because we do need more defensive stuff. But at the end, everyone knows we need a receiver, and it never hurts to protect your asset in Jayden Daniels by adding somebody. And then if we get Jeremiah Love, you got to do what you can to try and get a better run blocking offensive line as well. So
if you get Love, if you get Love, that signifies you brought back C-Rod or McNichols to be your blocking running back.
Right, McNichols, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which again, not bad at all.
No, yeah, he's a very good pass blocking, running back for sure. He can catch it out of the backfield, but with Jeremiah Love and Bill, I think that you have to shore up that blocking, because you just got 2 young guys you're not quite sure about. So
nope.
So I don't hate it. But like I said, it's not the sexiest one we've ever done. But at the end of the day, like, if it works out, then ain't no one mad about it.
I mean, Jeremiah Love, starter. Malachi Lawrence, starter. Bryce Lance, starter. Charlie Demings, probably a 4 or 5. Let him season a little bit. Elam Zor is probably your 3. Brailsford is easily your backup center, and he'll get reps probably by the bye week.
Yeah. And or goes and competes with McGee right away. So
right. And him and Madrano. So 2 guys that immediately you have to be like, oh, got to figure out who we want.
Yeah, and I like Parker a lot, man. That's a true center. He's true. Like, he ain't playing nothing else. And then you can figure out your guard, especially if Chris Paul leaves. So
I like it.
Allegretti or Coleman back over there, and have Allegretti compete with Parker for this center spot. So you've got options. So it's always good to have options.
We definitely got options. So again, I'm not mad at this. Again, we went Jeremiah Love, Malachi Lawrence, Bryce Lance, Charles Demings, Caleb Elarms Orr, and Parker Brailsford. That is our roster reconstruction draft. Let us know in the comments what you would grade this draft. Would you give it a B like PFF did? Would you give it an A? Would you give it a C-? Let us know in the comments what you would grade this draft. The league actually starts next week.
Yeah.
It is going to be a long week, but a very almost consequential week for people who got tagged, re-signings that are happening, guys who did not get re-signed, your Hendricksons, your K-Walkers. Like, expect this coming week and weekend to see some light trades, a lot of re-signings. Could be a big trade like the Trent McDuffie trade earlier today as we record. So guys, if you want to hear more about this, you're gonna want to stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button on your way out. It takes 2 seconds every time, and it's absolutely free. On the road to 1,000, we need 32 of y'all to hit that subscribe button. and like the video on the way out. It gets us into the algorithm, and it gets us to more of y'all. Nick, any closing remarks?
Nah, man, just you know how we roll, you know. So you got me with Nick Yates over here for ready for this season to start off on Wednesday. So next Wednesday. But yeah, man, I'm excited for it. Going to be breaking down some more film with some guys and start building up some boards and top tens and getting those out there for y'all, and be sitting here with Jon and the rest of the Ballin' and Burgundy crew, just breaking live news to you guys on a daily basis. That's what we do out here for y'all.
That's what we do. We love it for the love of the game. We do it for the love of football, and do it for every single one of you. So, guys, hit that subscribe button on your way out. Let's enjoy this offseason. It's going to be a very consequential one for our Commanders. And again, we made some re-signings. We made some extensions. We made some cuts. It will not be the last. Will not be the last of it. More to come. Tune in every Wednesday night to the Burgundy Breakdown. Myself, Reedy, Z, and one guy talking sports. This is going to come out after we go live last night, breaking down the roster and talking about more. So go watch that. Tune into Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all of our live updates, Instagram and Twitter. We're signing out. Nick, Jon, BIB Draft HQ. We'll see y'all next time.